Good day, everyone. My name is Max, and today we are playing Euro Truck Simulator 2, Cruising the Nordics, and Winter Wonderland. Or just Winterland, I think. Anyway, let's jump right into the game. Yeah, let's load the last autosave. I haven't played this game in quite a while, actually. Not many events last year. This time, gonna finish the Cruising Winterland event. Unfortunately, I got some issues with um, what's it called? With OBS? No, not with OBS. With Linux. Yes, with Linux regarding audio and somehow the mouse cursor, the desktop mouse cursor disappears when I'm running the game and I can't record the chat. It's just not great. Let's hope. Yeah, now we are running into the first issue. I want to change Windows so I can see the chat. I cannot do that because of how the game keeps me in. Yeah, no can do. Lovely. So let's quit game. I have to quit the game in order to get to the chat and pop out chat. I can see it better. And there's the chat here. Pop out chat. So I can have. Of course, we will reject all advertisement choices. Always do that. It's better for your privacy. Maybe not for your mental health. You get bombarded with scam ads. But anyway, so we gonna hopefully we're gonna stuff done now. Yeah, it's really weird. I feel like Linux and Wayland is getting more and more terrible, and in general just not good. And Linux and X11 also get worse and worse. I hate to say it, but I'm not having a good time with Linux lately. Wish it would be easier to do. Anyway, continue career, and of course this time, yeah, Scania S series. Nice lorry. Fun fact: Scania got sued by Mercedes because they were naming their lorries S and then followed by a number for the engine size. And of course, Mercedes does the same for their S class. And Mercedes thought, hey, people could confuse this lorry with a luxury saloon. So they just straight up prohibited Scania to do this for some reason. And Scania was like, okay. And so it's now it's number followed by the S. It's really weird. Corporate B like that. Anyway, we are currently in Bergen, which is in Norway. Not sure where we are heading. Let's see where the external contracts see us. Oh, right to Winterland, I guess. So we're gonna begin our first delivery right into Winterland. The contribution for these cities for this blah 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 complete. Begin delivery, just come on. I'm not going to go to some far off village just to get this thing. And yes, so I hope the audio is okay. The audio levels are okay. And yeah, good grief. Performance in this game. It feels like every update degrades the performance in this game. For some reason, like it's a bloody slideshow. Anyway, we are driving a Riso, serious? Which is quite fitting for cruising Nordics, I think. This is awful. This feels like a slideshow, and this has nothing to do with me streaming right now. This is just... what the problem is. I have a really powerful PC and this game doesn't plain and simple, it really doesn't look like it could bring an RTX 3080 down on its knees, but it does for some reason. But this is unfortunately nothing new for SES. American Truck Simulator is doing a little better. But this game has no business running this badly. I really don't know what type of rig they are playtesting on. Be a normal one. Maybe I'm just switching to Linux, to Windows, back to Windows. First of all, we have to see it's running great in the menu, of course, but on the actual map, it's running terribly. Yeah, no idea why, but yeah. Anyway, we are heading down E39 towards the portal to Winterland. There's one ferry crossing. Oh, and of course up here, wonderful new part of the map. All the way, can cruise all the way up to Volksverhetzung, and of course to the Northern Cape. And yeah, we will definitely do that either in this stream or another stream. But first we will finish Winterland. If the Winterland event takes us somewhere up north, we will of course take this route. But for now, let's stay focused. To Winterland without running just fine when the game is running better here. I really think SES games have quite terrible optimization issues, unfortunately. I suppose the game just runs terribly, and yeah, it's an unoptimized mess. For the Crusing Nordic event, because it is made in Finland. Even though it looks like a Renault, these ones were made in Finland and are purpose-built for mostly heavy duty and ultra heavy duty jobs. We are not doing here, just holding some Christmas presents back and forth and maybe something else. Quite interesting bridges. Bit of a shame we can't enter these villages and cities. That is Narvik. Not Narvik. Narvik. Probably never leads to issues. I'm living in Narvik. Or I'm living in Gnarvik. Wonderful view. Yeah. Let's put it like that. This section of the map isn't as terrible as the one before, regarding performance. It's really not impressive. The game doesn't look nearly as good as it performs. No justification for that. Ongoing issue. I think everyone is aware of it. Hopefully, I'm definitely not alone. A lot of people just turn down the graphics settings, but honestly, game crap. We just entered the bus lane. I hope that's but yeah. This game has, turning down the graphics settings, the game already doesn't look completely fresh. Turning down the graphics settings even further. I'm not a graphics slave, but damn. But look, these god rays look absolutely wonderful. I mean, I wouldn't want to miss those. Especially since the rendering behind these god rays isn't particularly impressive. It's just a simple projection. From Ytre Oppedal to Larvik. I don't know Norwegian. I'm probably butchering a lot of place names. Engaged and well, we didn't got any area animations in the Romania DLC. I'm not sure if it was Romania. Road to the Baltic Sea. No, Road to the Black Sea. Yes, that's what it was called, or is called. There are ferries in Romania, I remember, and they had a nice animation sequence, a cutscene basically, where you cross a river. And this is a ferry crossing a fjord, and I think at least a short cutscene would have been nice. Animation. I mean, it's not that crucial, but it's a nice to have. Definitely is. Especially since this DLC costs quite a bit of money. And no ferry animation. I think the Louisiana DLC also has ferry animation, but I haven't played that. I haven't played that yet, and at this time I'm not planning on playing American Truck Simulator on stream. The Nordics are just more interesting. I mean, nothing against Louisiana, but many tunnels and bridges in Norway at least. Look at this mountainscape. Low poly trees. Yeah, this ain't cyberpunk, but it certainly runs like cyberpunk. Say? No idea. It's perfectly legal, trust me, not legal advice. Wow. I think the game doesn't have dynamic reasons or anything, so it's taking place in summer, which is why it's still midnight. It's approaching midnight and it's night. It's still day, of course. We are in the valley, so the village isn't getting a lot of light, but obviously it's still day. It's a weird thing to think. Not the portal, that's also weird, but the light play in this village is actually really nice. That's a really nice view. You've discovered Winterland. Where are we going next? So, world map. Yeah, there is a new road. Seems. Or a road I haven't driven on yet. So, but almost all of it I have discovered. Yeah, almost the same map as last year. So we heading into town. Parking brake. Yeah. And look, Winterland performance here isn't bad. That's a map from last year. And it's absolutely terrible. This really makes me want to performance really want to make me want to play 18 Wheels of Steel Extreme Trucker with the ice road. I really hope. We will get an ice road DLC. see eventually. American Truck Simulator or whatever. Oh, we have traffic in Winterland now. Nice, last year we didn't have traffic at all. Now we do. It's really cool. Minus 12 degrees. Shitboxes running around here. No, I'm not a big Christmas guy, but I just love this map. There are no maps, no parts of the base map in ETS to have snow. Here we have just nice to have something different. Of course, there are mods snowy, for example, pro mods, parts of Iceland, and of course Spitsbergen and Greenland have have snow. But as I've said before, most of the map is really set in summer and thus doesn't have any snow, which is unfortunate. Dynamic weather is already a thing. Why not dynamic seasons? Then again, probably just push down performance. I just wish this game performed better. Some nice cars here. What's that? That's looking like definitely a Soviet car. 80s, Soviet Russian car. In a Lego, something like that. Not sure. But yeah, first Winterland delivery completed. Now let's see where else we are going. So external contracts, and we are taking, looks like we are going to Umeå, which is actually in the Nordic countries, in the Nordics. Nice. To Bordeaux. Umeå or Bordeaux? Back to Norway or heading to Sweden? You know what? Let's see how Sweden looks like. Haven't been there in a while. Last time I tried, didn't work. Anyway, begin delivery. Of course, yeah, I know this city has already been delivered to. That's what you get when you're late to the party. Trailer is ready. Proceed to loading area. One thing I really would have wished for is if SCS would have struck a deal with Ziesel. So yeah, it would have been quite fitting to have Ziesel lorries being released to ETS to officially, of course, for the Nordics DLC and the Winterland event. Would have been quite cool, but we didn't get that. Lorries themselves are not that different from, at least from a visual perspective, from the lorries they are based on. Mercedes, except for the E13 TP, which is a military lorry. To the MANGL. Those are probably the most lorries, but they wouldn't fit Euro Truck Simulator. The more normal lorries these does are just in today's case based for the most part on Mercedes chassis, but yeah, basically modified Mercedes, but built from the ground up. Could have went across the lake there. We've taken a little shortcut. There's an opportunity there. Yeah. Whoa. Instead we're taking the scenic route across a mountain pass. But we get a nice view of this village. Well, at least something. Quite a little bit slippery. Adding a nice little touch of town. World map, closest portal, there it is, but we will take, yeah, I almost took the left route again. Will not do this today, or again, then we will take the left road. I think it starts here. Yeah, nice. curious what will happen. Traffic here. They just want to back. Do they? No, they go into the tunnel. Yeah, but that tunnel is leading. Synchronizing your progress in trucks. And it's summer again. Oh. Born on the wrong side. Not cool. Just there. But we can be outlawed and go against the flow. Yes, let's go against the flow of traffic. Do not go against the flow of traffic, even if you go against the flow everywhere else. Obviously, do not do this in real life. I'm a real gangster. Not in real life. But yeah, back to slideshow. Frame rate. Usually what the heck is it? Really subpar. probably also the very many visible objects on this lorry I have installed, like the flags, the little Christmas tree there, window flag, all of that stuff is very likely also contributing to the treasure rate, even though it shouldn't. Let's just take those 15 minutes. It's way too late for that. So let's see if I'm now wondering. Oh yeah, I'm not. Oh, now I see why I'm not. I think I'm not getting any progress in the Crusing Nordic event because, yeah, 150 kilometers is the limit. Okay. Well. At least the Crusing Nordic event. Going on for a little longer. I'd really like to take this trailer. This fancy aerodynamic trailer. But a double trailer would also be interesting. Ika Bohag. First of all, where are we? Mea seems quite extensive. Okay, so without driving around the entire city, and take Nordic Chrono Dreckatrons. Okay, external contracts, the Nordic Crown. Dreckatrons. Coca-Cola. That's just 116 kilometers. Dreckatrons. Tammerfors. LFTR is too close. Tammerfors is, yeah, land distance 212. And I would have to go to Polarfish anyway, so let's transport used plastic from Umeå to Tammerfors and begin delivery. Woven Wonders of Winterland. Event in progress. Yes, I know, but we are not doing Winterland delivery. Now we are doing a Nordics delivery. Is Tammerfors part of the Nordics? I am not sure. We're gonna find out. Could very well be Tama Force is actually part of the Baltics DLC. Well, we've taken that contract now, so at least we're going to get progress from at least one city. Ain't hyper efficient, but it's something. And my main gripe with this game is really the god-awful performance. Terrible. Plain and simple. Roundabouts here. Roundabouts are actually great in real life. You do not have to wait at a traffic light, which is a big plus. And they are also cheaper to run. The traffic light after 10 years or so. Oi, oi, oi. where now? I suppose. Interesting. Oh, all the way back there. Yeah, okay. Disaster. The Vasa, by the way, is a ship, a wonderful big ship that sank on the first cruise in its harbor. It was so big and heavy, it didn't float well and sunk more or less on the spot. Not to fail. Yet the Vasa, for some reason, is a very famous ship and kind of a national symbol, I guess, for Sweden. Really weird. Finland, by the way, has a Swedish-speaking minority along the coast of the Baltic Sea. Finland also has a lot of lakes. Maybe we will see some of them eventually. We see one right here. Name be provided by lorry stop now. Happens. Okay, good to know. Kokkola is called Karleby in Swedish. Karl's village, basically. Fun fact, another one. Not Sweden, but Finland has something called high capacity transport. It's basically like 2 full-size trailers long. Instead of the normal Euro double, it has it's basically 2 full-size trailers chained together. I think even a tandem configuration with a super long trailer in the back. So there's a really long trailer, I think, by one of the native Finnish trailer companies made by them, and it's really long. It's very interesting because there are only a few routes where they are because the Finnish backcountry, of course, the up north, very distant place, very long ways to drive, so they allow extra long, basically almost road trains going around there. So yeah, we do have some kind of road trains in the EU, so to say. Not quite as long as in Australia, but we do have our own outbacks and our own road trains fitting there. And there's an accident. Oh, great. Yeah, of course. Let's check if... World map. Yeah, we've been to Tammerfors already. So Tammerfors is, of course, part of the Baltics DLC. But anyway, yeah. So maybe we will go somewhere up there sometime in the future. I'm actually not sure we have any of these long trailers installed as mods. I don't think so. All kinds of trailers, including modded ones, but yeah, not the super long ones. This low frame rate is super hard on the eyes. I don't really like it, it's great. Really tiresome. Countryside. It's very flat, lots of forests. Fortunately, not much exciting to see. Like Norway was very interesting with its mountainscapes and stuff. This is just flat landscape. least the frame rate isn't absolutely atrocious around here. Serving those bus stops in the upcoming Curtis DLC. Though I don't know what to expect from the Curtis DLC, but it'll be interesting to see. Oh, I'm having the brights on. Company, there was the tire company, which is still around to this day. You can still buy tires made in Finland, particularly with bicycles. I don't think Nokia is still in business of car motorbike tires, but they definitely are in bicycle tires. At least last time I've checked for bicycle tires. Manufacturers of bicycle tires oftentimes do not manufacture tires for other vehicles but bicycles, and likewise many manufacturers for stuff like motor vehicles do not make tires for bicycles. I find that rather interesting. Can't be that different. Have I gone off course? Not really. Just a little bit. Easy fix. Not feeling like it today at all. Just 20 XP anyway. Contract, let's check. Yeah, so Christmas fiber stuffing. Guess we're gonna transport Christmas fiber stuffing to Winterland. And the portal is right around the corner. Wreck that logistics. I never really liked the Renault Premium. But it might be just the image of Cecil being a tough manufacturer, tough lorry. That I like. It's also a nice side window. Do not see these often anymore. Obviously, navigation, world map, see where's the next portal, it's right there. You see, we gotta be thinking with portals, or something like that. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, anyway, it's quite interesting. So, never really liked the Renault Premium, which is based on never really liked driving the Renault Premium in Truck Simulator 2. But in Italy, I've never seen it in real life. Renault Premium. I know, have I seen it in real life? But I never really liked driving the Renault Premium, and also the Renault Magnum. I know the Magnum is an iconic lorry. It had a lot of innovation at the time. I think in the late 80s, early 90s or something, when it was first released in the 80s. It had a lot of innovation in it, built into it. Like, it was very efficient. It had a massive cabin. Basically, Magnum is kind of like it was set that, oddly enough, it was Renault setting the pace for the future of European lorry building with the Magnum. Very interesting. It had a lot of innovation in it. But yeah, they kept building it for like an absurdly long time, like over 20 years or something, with little changes. So the Renault Premium, I really definitely yes to. But for some reason, the Sisu, I like driving it. Probably again because of the image of a tough Finnish lorry. Maybe also because it's exotic. There used to be a Sisu M Series mod with a historic lorry. I like driving that a lot too, but mostly because it was a nice mod, historic lorry mod by XPS. Not sure if that's kept up to date, I don't think so. XPS has gone quiet, unfortunately. Very talented modder. Are you freaking kidding me? No way, I just went the wrong way. Ah, you see, that's how tired I am. Reset navigation, lovely. I went all the way. Well, I'm almost in Puri. I can just go here. That's shorter anyway. What the heck? Well, the road is the destination. Something like that. Absolutely great job releasing great mods free of charge, but I honestly would pay for historic lorries if they are done right. Not a lie. And of course through an official DLC. Do not pay for mods. It's ruining communities. It's probably an unpopular opinion and I might be putting myself in the crossfire. Paid mods. Like donations? Okay. But what's behind paywalls? That's against the terms of service of the SDS, by the way. Dumb enough one time to pay for it, like sort of dog shit experience. Like, I'm not talking about optional premium downloads or donations and stuff like that. I'm talking about paid mods. And such a terrible experience. Experience was asked, and then there was zero support. We had like a real cash grab, like a real rip-off. Well, shame on you, I never did it again. I'm definitely not advocating for it. I get people want to make money off mods, but there must be better ways. DLCs would be a good outlet for that, but a lot of companies don't do that. Some do, for example, Bohemia Interactive, another Czech studio, of course with the Armor series. They do see DLCs, working pretty well. There's a rather controversial CDLC for Armor 3, the Czech Armed Forces DLC, which is more or less was criticized by a lot for feeling like recycled Arma 2 content, which, to be fair, is understandable. But the map is beautiful. The map, it has one thing going for it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting so tired. that they've added traffic to the Wonderland, Winter Wonderland, or Winterland. Really like that. Good job. And you see, something that definitely map optimization. Maybe they just don't care too much about doing LODs anymore. Not sure. It's getting a bit bendy. Nothing too dramatic. Entering at another village. Oh, there's an ice rink. Tomatoes on there. Let's check. Right here. External contracts. The world map. We had Rudolph's Crafts. External contract. From Rudolph's Crafts to Bihać. We're taking that. Mastercraft gift package. And Bihać is even. Apparently a place where people don't like to deliver to for some reason. Well, let's hope this doesn't leave us stranded without a return ticket. Pretty sure, right? But yeah, by the way, speaking about the Balkans, right, Bulgaria. I think a year or 2 years ago, they entered Schengen, and now they've also entered the Eurozone. So, quite something. Quite a few countries in Europe, not in the Eurozone despite being in the EU, but yeah. honestly, SCS could just release a map DLC with a fictional map like this, except much bigger. Absolutely drives that. Let's see how the British Columbia DLC will work out. Because SCS actually heading to Canada with the latest announced DLC. The last announced DLC, British Columbia. I don't know how far up north they will go. Because I think, yeah, well, there's the Yukon territory, or as I might call it. Yeah, but the British Columbia is also going fairly far up north, isn't it? There's definitely potential on that side to do winter stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not very positive we will get anything like that with Euro Truck Simulator. I yearn for winter maps. Come on. Yes. Give us winter map. Give us ice road. Give us this, but big. Well, there's still pro mods. Unfortunately, you can't do trucks contracts. Pro mods. Further into the direction of a fully featured city builder, but it's still primarily a transport tycoon game. But Transport Fever 2 already can be very much played as a city builder, sort of. The controls are much less direct, of course. It going there further. Also, they've included a lot of stuff the community modded already, like cargo trans, light rail, for example. Not sure how well it integrates with heavy rail. That's one thing I would love to see. Is just running in heavy and light rail being fully integrated with one another. That was close. But yeah, I don't think we will see that. But they do per lane traffic management now in Transport Fever 3. There will be per lane traffic management and also road building on a per lane basis, much like the track building is already track, but road building will be going in a similar direction, and in my opinion that's absolutely great, because you can build really smooth roads and have a lot of fun with that. I already have played City Skylines 2. It is a very flawed game, it is very buggy, it is generally not as fun as the first one, but City Skylines 2 also does this per lane road management very well. Very well, and I'm glad to see this in Transport Fever 3 becoming a thing as well. I hope Transport Fever 3 will be actually a smooth release. That's a shame though, you can't trust. The Hutch is actually Montenegro. Good? Wait a minute, I gotta look it up. What map? Indeed. He had this in Montenegro. Is it? No, it isn't. That's... I'm so terrible at geography. No, it isn't Montenegro. It's Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah, it's Bosnia. Herzegovina. And Herzegovina. Okay. I have just proven I don't know anything about geography anymore. I always had trouble with the Balkans, honestly. This was always... Geography teachers really like doing that. Catch you by surprise with asking questions about the Balkans and then give you a bad grade based on that. But yeah, okay, we are in Bosnia, not in Montenegro. Lovely. Entering a company called Vesna. Seems like they make food. So here's something interesting. There is some sort of meta economy in ETS2, like with demand and stuff like that, apparently, at least according to the wiki. But I'm not sure how it works actually. But anyway, companies do. And right back to the Winterland. Lovely. Don't even need to go somewhere else, just from Vesna. Lovely return ticket. Just like that. Great. So there are companies that produce specific products and also of course consume different products, but I'm not sure how deep it interacts with one another. There's actually a real meta behind it, or if it's just these companies have this effect. I wonder what's up with that. There's an actual method about it. That would be economic simulation levels, like memeber stuff. Not sure. If you know more about it, let me know in the chat. Okay. So I do not want to go through customs and border checks. And we're going there. Traffic, yeah. Maybe I should drive one too. It's also Scandinavian. Makes sense. One Lancer left. across the Bosnian countryside again. Bus stops on the side here. They really prepared for the purchase DLC, didn't they? So everything is prepared already. Unfortunately, not a lot of city bus driving. I mean, it's obvious. It's about the entire game is built around long distance travel. There are a couple one-to-one urban maps though in the modding community. They do exist. Not sure if they are actually worth anything. I haven't played those ever. They are almost total conversions. And oh, wow, that looks very winterly. Very moody. Can take it in terms of turning the Purchase DLC into a city bus driving DLC. That would be very interesting to see. We already have city bus mods out there, of course, but I would need a one-to-one map for that. Would be actually reasonable. Yeah, I wonder how far it can take it. Let's just enjoy the scenic Winterland countryside. Part looks nice, but the front part, I don't think they should have stuck with that. Design. Look, especially with that price tag on there, doesn't look nice. The rear half though, excellent. Alright, World of Trucks contract completed. Almost 300. Will we crack the 300 mark in this stream? Let's see. External contracts from the city centre Christmas market. This time to Sheffield. Right. We're going to the UK, driving on the wrong side. Gonna do that. Christmas market hampers. Whatever that means. Begin delivery anyway. We are late to the game, so That's just normal. And again, world map, navigation. I am pretty sure we went up there, or I went up there last time. Not sure if I streamed that, but I'm pretty sure I did. I did went up there. Anyway, 100%ing this map isn't that important anyway, so let's find a good exit route. Maybe this way. Yeah, this could be a good one. Depressing. Thankfully, it's not that long here. Further north, it's obviously more extreme. Thankfully, we have equipped those. I'm not sure if they do anything actually. They do have excellent fuel efficiency for some reason, which I don't quite believe. But the game gives them excellent fuel efficiency. Be weird like that. In this game all you want for being so outdated and just laughably outdated. I this part of the map is probably currently the oldest part of the map since the Germany rework has taken place, and it's hilariously old. I think this is OG UK truck simulator stuff we see here. So, stuff we've seen in the first European truck simulator game, and then later on in UK truck simulator. Yeah, so this is OG ETS1 content right there, say, or UK truck simulator. I'm not sure how much different the UK ETS1 is, which was a DLC. UK truck simulator, but anyway, this is hilariously outdated content. It is pretty much the original truck simulator experience with a industrial estate you drive into and then have the actual city as a backdrop only. So, yeah. But no performance issues, no big ones at least. So this is definitely an optimization problem on a map level, the map maker level. I mean, there are plenty of games, like over a decade old, that put as much detail into the map as, or even more, as SCS does with their new maps, and they run excellent. This is totally on SCS. Especially since you can absolutely see this game can run at a reasonable frame rate in places that are hilariously outdated and not very detailed, but at least they work. So from Sheffield to Steinbruch. No, from Sheffield to Winterland. Rudolph's Craft. Do we have? I don't want to deliver to Rudolph's Craft again. The North Star to FCP. Manchester. I want Sheffield. Craft. Sheffield. Yeah. From Transinet, so we are already there to Marigold. Delivering Christmas cacao powder. Begin delivery. Yes, I know Sheffield has already been completely done. So, and by the way, Ireland is one of the upcoming DLCs for ETS2. Looking forward to that one. And I hope the UK rework tracks release around the same time. But not sure where this is going. If they are existing parts of the map, or maybe even have the Scottish Highlands. Maybe they don't. I don't think the Scottish Highlands are worthy. And we are doing a very touristy thing, going in the wrong direction. Yeah. You have discovered a recruitment agency. Phenomenal. Sheffield, back on the countryside. Sounds lovely. UK countryside, I actually like it for having decent performance. To rule out possible issues with Linux. I wonder if these performance issues are just a Linux version problem, or if they can be attributed to the game as a whole, also on the into the map making entirely. Love to move everything over to Linux. This is not possible for some things, like for example, I have an audio interface that only works with Linux, with Windows, unfortunately. Even though there were attempts to port the drivers to Linux at some point in the past. I've read some stuff about it. It ended up not going anywhere because apparently merchant wanted to open source certain things. I think they had to open source certain things about their stuff, and it just didn't happen because the proprietary things about it were essential to make it work on Linux. It just never happened. Linux really wasn't back then, like 10-20 years ago, Linux just wasn't an operating system ready for a production environment outside of server stuff. I know people did it back then, but it wasn't the norm, and it wasn't recommended. This comes back biting us in the ass nowadays. Windows is just becoming the most terrible operating system to Windows 11 is completely eyeballs, to be honest. Like everything wrong with AI is embodied by this operating system nowadays. They use it for all the wrong things. AI does have its uses, but it's not writing code from scratch. Definitely not. So many vulnerabilities and performance issues and bugs and scary. But yeah, thankfully in the EU we get 1 year more support. Windows 10 support. macOS, of course, it's all ARM now, and you officially can't get it on a PC of your choice. You need to buy it with hardware, and I'm not sure if Hackintosh is still a thing. If macOS nowadays is made for it. I don't think ARM is particularly popular. Never seen it. Racing through the tunnels. Are there computers that are Salt is such an environmental environment destroyer. I don't know. I'm getting tired. But anyway, company job offers Marigold. So the next delivery is to Bucharest in Romania. Or should we go to Bernschulzwig? Yeah, Bucharest it is. And Scholzwig also has everything, has all deliveries made, all necessary ones. Wow. Yeah, less talking, more driving. Begin delivery. Yes, we will begin this delivery. Kind of annoying it's nagging you like that, especially this late in the event. Yeah, that's a nice straight road. The other one is shorter, but you have to climb up a nice Christmas train. Unexplainable. Oh, well then, delivering some yeah, the Romanian capital. that was the 300th World of Trucks contract completed. Lovely. Amazing. And total Winter Wonderland deliveries, 8 out of 15. So finished half and one Crusing Nordics delivery from Umea to Permafrost. Yeah. So anyway, I think we're gonna take a break. That was it for today. Hope you had a good time, and maybe see you tomorrow. Definitely gotta finish Woven Wonders of Winterland. All those sweet cabin accessories. But anyway, hope hope you've had a good time, and of course, hope you stay tuned, stay safe, stay fly. Bye.